Terry.
Terry!
Ooh.
So glad you can make it.
Yeah. And you must be Susan?
Yes, wonderful to meet you. I hope this is okay. It's a Sauvignon Blanc.
Oh. Sounds wonderful. Okay, well, come in.
Ah, hors d'oeuvres, or as we say in the States, hors d'oeuvres.
So my wife is still working on the main course, but I figured we could start here with some nice dumplings and liver jelly.
Liver jelly?
It's a real delicacy. But did you care for some?
No thanks. I'll just wait until we sit down.
Terry, I gotta tell you, you have no idea how excited I was when I heard you were moving back stateside. In our neighborhood, too.
Well, I did love my time overseas, but I gotta tell you, I'm so glad to be back in the US of A.
Terry, where were you again? I'm sure Barry told me. I'm just so forgetful.
Just a little country called Marzipan, right off the Caspian Sea.
Marzipan, you say?
Oh, it's a wonderful place. I tell you, the thing that I find most fascinating is how the land was Oh, I see you've met my wonderful wife, Marie.
Oh, yes. Sorry, I was just a little distracted there.
Yeah, she's a quiet one. Still working on her English. Isn't that right, honey? I am going to bet that this means dinner's ready, which means you two are in for a treat. Marie has been preparing a traditional marzipan cuisine for us.
A taste from the Far East. How exotic.
Oh, yes. There is nothing quite like marzipan cuisine. I can guarantee you that.
And when we finished school, we moved back here for my work. Danny came into the picture not long after, so we decided to settle down.
And so he's 5 or 6, right?
He'll be 5.5 next month.
Oh, well, that's great. You know, kids are a big deal in marzipan.
Really?
Yeah, it's an old marzipan saying. Children are the future.
Oh, I feel like I've heard that before.
Well, I mean, I'm sure it's made its way over here somehow. Cultural exchange and so forth.
Say, what's in this stew? It smells so very interesting.
It's a bit like pho. So the meat goes in raw, and then the heat of the broth cooks it. It's kind of crazy.
Raw.
When it goes in, but I mean it's fully cooked by now. Plus there's some stewed greens and some nice veggies in there. It's really quite good.
Oh, I'm sure. I'm about to dig in. Just curious.
Marie, this stew's great.
Yeah, it's one of my favorites. Just wait until you guys try the dessert, though. Marie makes this blood pudding, sort of like what the British do. Absolutely sublime.
Blood pudding? Yeah, I think I've heard of that.
Could someone pass the salt?
Oh, you know what? I think Marie forgot to set it out. I've been sort of a low sodium diet these days.
That's okay. Is it just in the kitchen somewhere?
Well, yeah, it should be on the countertop. I can grab it.
No. No need for you to get up. I can get it.
All right.
Oh, I didn't see you there.
Terry said to show you where the salt is.
I didn't know you. I mean, I found the salt. I was just.
Do you like the stew? I was worried you wouldn't like it.
Oh, it's wonderful. I was just taking a look in the pot.
That's the secret ingredient, a real marzipan tradition.
I'm so glad you like it. I can give you the recipe.
Everything okay in here?
Oh, everything's great. Marie was just showing me her secret ingredient.
Oh. Yeah, it really is just for flavor. Not a lot of good meat up there. But, you get all the hair off of there, all the spice, nutmeg. Let it simmer in the broth for a couple hours. It works wonders, really.
I guess I hadn't really tasted it.
Well, and it is a subtle thing. More of an umami type of deal. Well, we found the salt. Back to the table.
Mm-mm-mm. Mm-mm-mm-mm. Mm. Mm. Mm-hmm. Mm. Mm. Mm-mm-mm. Mm. Mm. Mm-hmm. Mm-mm.
Barry, I just got a call from the babysitter. Terry, is there somewhere we can take this?
Sure. Why don't you take it out in the foyer?
Thanks, Barry. I don't think I can eat this food.
What about the sitter?
Oh, there's no issue. I didn't want to say anything in front of them.
What's wrong with the food?
It's just too much. I'm sorry, Terry and Marie have been wonderful, but the food is just a little too far out there for me.
Well, I think it'd be rude for you to refuse their food, especially since Marie is giving us a taste of her homeland.
Barry, there's a head in the soup.
What?
A head! A severed head floating around in the soup!
Was there hair on it? Oh, jeez, was there hair in the soup?
What? No, look! Look, I mean, a head. Okay, I can't stop thinking about it, like it was staring at me.
Oh, you don't think there'd be much meat up there?
Oh, Terry said it was more for flavor? But that's besides the point. I'm skeptical of the liver jelly and the blood pudding and all the spices, but a head is just too much. I'm sorry, it's not within my palate.
Susan! You're being impolite. And, quite frankly, unreasonable.
I'm being unreasonable?
They took the time and the effort to cook for us. I get it's a little exotic, but have you ever considered that our food may seem outlandish to the good people of Marzipan?
Possibly.
Honey, I get your apprehension, I do, but think about what leaving would say to Terry and Marie. It'd be like spitting in their faces. Terry is an old friend, and Marie is a stranger in these lands. We're ambassadors. What impression of our beautiful nation would we be giving Marie if we refused her food?
I guess that's true. Okay.
Let's keep an open mind about this.
I bet they're worrying about us. We better head back in.
Everything sorted out with the sitter?
All worked out.
A bit of a false one.
Okay, good.
Babysitter said things went well.
Well, Danny's a good kid. Must be genes.
You know what? I'm glad we gave the food a second chance. I stopped thinking about the head, and you know what? I really enjoyed myself.
It's funny, the stew was great, but man, that blood pudding we had for dessert did not agree with me.
Really?
Where do we keep the deli meats?
Middle shelf to the left. At least they had good coffee. I think it was nice to try something new for a change. And it was authentic. Hard to beat that.
I guess. Still, Call me a Philistine, but nothing beats the good old-fashioned stuff you get at the store.